Debits and credits is one of the most fundamental things you need to understand when learning accounting. This is accounting 101, accounting fundamentals. So whether you're just a business owner trying to run your own books, this is something you need to understand. And it's really not too complicated, so I'm just going to go through this quick video and just explain how the system works and then give you a quick example we can run through as well. So this won't be too long, but just as a quick overview, so accounting, all it is just a system to keep track of all business activity. So, for example, if you have a loan you took out for $1,000, you want to be able to know, okay, I took out this loan, it increased the cash position this much. Or, for example, if you bought a property, let's say, you'd like to know how much you paid. You'd like to know, okay, how did I finance this purchase? Did I pay it all in cash? Did I put down some cash and take out a loan? Did I do it all on a loan? If you're a public company, did I issue stock and use that for the transaction? We want to know this. So accounting is just an organized, systematic way that has been developed to just keep track of all of this. And we operate on the double entry accounting system, which just means every time you have a transaction with those debits and credits, whatever lines up on the debit side is going to line up on the credit, so everything's in balance and everything always nets to zero. Now, let's go over here to the 5 core account types. There are 5 core account types. There is assets, liabilities, owner's equity, revenue, and expenses. Now, assets are just simply what the business owns. Liabilities are what the business owe. Think of loans. This one over here, you can think of maybe cash, inventory you own, stuff like that. Owner's equity. This is the difference between assets and liabilities. So you take your assets, you minus your liabilities. This gives you your owner's equity. This is typically what the investors have invested into the business, but this can also be increased through the company just making money from net income. Revenue and expenses. These are income statement items. So obviously revenue is what the company is making, expenses what you spent. So you get the difference of these, and that's going to be your net income, what the company's making, and that usually flows back into equity. But for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to get too deep into the concept of that. For now, all you need to know is those are the 5 account types. And my first accounting professor, Professor Jackson, back when I took that years ago, he gave me this acronym that stuck with me for a while, and it was really helpful. And it was just all Longhorns own real estate. So that gives you ALOR, that gives you all the 5 account types, a little acronym for that. But then what also happened is he used to draw out this little diagram that I try to recreate over here, where he used to make it look like a longhorn horn, as you can see, even though kind of terrible drawing, and I messed up the spelling right there. But either way. And what this does is this is an easy little cheat sheet on how does each account type increase. So as you can see, for assets, they increase with a debit. And for liabilities, equity, and revenue, they all increase with a credit. And expenses also increase with the debit. So you can just visualize this in your head if that helps. And that can help you remember it on the fly. And just to give you an example of how something like this would work, when we were talking about earlier, say you have a loan for $1,000. If you take out a loan for $1,000, obviously your liability is going to increase by $1,000. So we'd credit that because now you have a loan that you owe. You need to record that you owe a loan payable. So that's going to increase that by $1,000. So you credit it. But when you take out that loan, what are you getting? Because you took out the loan, obviously you're going to get the cash because that's how the loan works. You need to get the cash. So whenever you receive the cash, now your cash position increased on your company by $1,000 as well. Your asset increased by $1,000. So that asset debit for $1,000, that loan is going to credit for $1,000, and they net to zero. Now let's run through one more quick example. Like I said, this was just going to be a real quick video, nothing too crazy. It's just giving you a quick overview on how debits and credits work, not trying to get too complicated, and don't want to confuse anybody. So you run a construction company, and need to buy a pickup truck for use. You spend $40,000 on a truck, you put $5,000 down, and you take out a loan for the remainder, the $35,000 left. Prepare the journal entry for the purchase. So, we have a truck, we spent $40,000, so typically we're going to record our purchases at cost. So, in this example, the truck is going to be an asset for our business. It's something the business owns. We put it down for $40,000 because that is the price we paid. Now over here, we only spent $5,000 from our bank account to put down on the truck. So because we put that $5,000 down, we got to decrease our cash position, which is also an asset. So we're going to credit it for $5,000. As you can see, I also put right here, asset, liability. And then we took out $35,000 finally for that truck loan, which is a liability, and liabilities increase with a credit. So we need to increase our liability by $35,000 to signify that, hey, we have this $35,000 loan that we owe. And as you can see, same thing right here, $35,000 plus $5,000 is $40,000 equals the $40,000 on the debit side. They are going to net to zero. So like I said, this was just going to be a real quick video. I just wanted to run through that for anybody who is trying to figure it out and just needs a quick little guide on the different accounts. It's not going super in depth, but that should be enough just to understand the basic concepts. If you need any help with bookkeeping, I'll go ahead and throw up my website in a link somewhere on screen right now, as well as my business email. You can reach out to me and I'd be happy to help.